What's going on, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez, and welcome to my series premiere spoiler review for Timeless. Now, it should take me 2 minutes to recap the episode, then give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks so much for joining me. So we begin the series premiere of Timeless with the destruction of the Hindenburg in 1937. Next, we're in the modern day, and we see our antagonist Flynn, whose hair makes him look like an asshole. He steals this time machine, and he takes this scientific crew that was there, so they're hostages. Now, the government ends up recruiting this girl named Lucy, and they want to go back, and there's a second time machine that's a prototype, that's like a lifeboat, so they're going to go chase after Flynn and his group. So they go back in 1937. Wyatt likes Kate. Now, there's Rufus, there's Lucy, and there's Wyatt. These are the three protagonists of the series. Now, Wyatt ends up liking Kate because his wife, or his deceased wife, looks like Kate, so there's this whole storyline there with Wyatt. Now, the Hindenburg lands, and that's the thing, because they were trying to prevent, because they think Flynn went back in time to destroy the Hindenburg. So they're there when the Hindenburg is supposed to go down, and it doesn't. It actually lands, so that means that time has changed itself. That's not what's supposed to happen. The Hindenburg is supposed to explode. So Flynn ends up saving it. Now they're gonna blow it, excuse me. Flynn is gonna blow the Hindenburg up when they end up taking off. Now, the three of them are arrested, Flynn, Rufus, and Lucy, and Rufus ends up distracting the cops. This is one of my favorite scenes out of the whole episode. So Wyatt and Rufus end up beating the cops, and they find this bomb. They go onto the Hindenburg, and they find the bomb. It's going to blow in like 5 minutes, so the Hindenburg is already flying. They're already in the air, so they're trying to think, how are we going to stop this bomb, and how are we going to get off the Hindenburg? So they stop the bomb, and Kate ends up shooting a bullet by accident, and it goes up into the top, and it makes the explosion occur. So the Hindenburg is going down, and they land, and they get out of the Hindenburg before it totally just goes up in flames within like half a minute. So Flynn ends up shooting Kate, and I think it's because Wyatt ended up moving out of the way, and Kate wasn't supposed to be behind him, but she was. So she was supposed to die by the Hindenburg when it crashed in the first place. They altered time by that, by, her not getting killed, and by it landing, Kate could have survived and lived her happy life, but she ended up following Wyatt and getting shot and killed. Now, she dies, and they're back in the present, so Lucy's mom is awake. She was in a coma before Lucy ended up going back to 1937, and she had a sister, but in this timeline now, she doesn't have a sister. Her sister was never born. Now on to the pros and cons. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys and tell you that I wasn't that familiar with the story of the Hindenburg. I've heard about it, going up in flames, but I thought it was because of the sun, and it didn't mix well with the sun in the sky. But it was gas and, whatever else that made it explode, the way they did it. But actually, them showing it in this show, and the way it was done, and them opening up the pilot with it, was very well done. I mean, the effects and I looked at the real footage of the Hindenburg actually going down, and it's a horrifying footage. It's scary footage, but within less than 30 seconds, all of it burns, and it's nothing, from something to nothing. And the way they did it on the show, I watched it after watching the pilot, and I was like, oh my god, like how authentic and how so close to the real life footage that it was. So the way they actually did the Hindenburg, the effects and the design and the look and the tone and the grittiness, that's something that I was really drawn by. And if they actually do this in every episode, if every episode's going to be the next episode's going to be Abraham Lincoln, if they keep on doing the real, obviously it's going back in time, so it's going to be real life events, but if they authentically do it the real way, it's going to be so awesome. But it just brought me into the Hindenburg, and I looked up more of it, so it got me to research it, which I like, that it's actually helping me learn certain things that I didn't know. So one of the best things about the Hindenburg this episode was the CGI, the effects in here, and it works very well, especially the time machine, the way that it moves, and it has this these rotors around the time machine that are spinning very, very fast. So the CGI effects and the practical effects in here are very well done. Also, I'm a total freak for the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, and 1950s. And 1937 actually sounds like an interesting time, so I'm glad they opened up. Of course, Hindenburg went down, but just the way life was, the way that the bar and the clothes and the look and the talk, and I think Wyatt ended up saying "What's up" or something, and the guy didn't know what he meant. So like the different language, like, you know, they didn't use the way we talk nowadays. Obviously, back in the 30s, would be gibberish to the people in the 1930s. So my grandma was born in 1930. Actually, I should talk. Like, see, this is something for me to bring up to my grandma about the Hindenburg. She was 7 years old when the Hindenburg went down. So that's very interesting. See, giving me stuff to talk about with my grandma even more. This is what I like about the show already. Obviously, she wasn't alive back in Abraham Lincoln time, so that's not gonna help right there. But with the whole, you know, the era and the look, and even I was thinking to myself, like, Rufus, since he's black, how would it be back then in 1937 for him to be out and he wasn't allowed to be in the bar, or it wasn't safe because everyone was looking at him? So it's different. It's, you know, interesting to see these characters. So far, I like all the characters. Like, the characters are interesting. Lucy's interesting. Rufus is very interesting. But Wyatt, it's going to take me some time to get to, you know, Wyatt seems like a douchery type of guy. I'm going to be honest. He seems like a douche a little bit. But Rufus, the way he distracted the cops, and the way he's like, you know, like, in my time, time is not on your side, or the future is not on your side. We have a black president. We have this. We have that. There's no slavery anymore. Blah, 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 blah. And the way that was written, the way the actor, like, you could tell how furious and, like, how he just wants to, like, piss off the cops so much. It's great distraction. So that's what just made me love Rufus a lot more. So basically, my life has consisted of watching shows that are time traveling and altering timelines, and honestly, I think one show is good enough. I don't need 4 or 5 shows to do this. Now, before watching this pilot, I didn't know anything about this show except it's time travel. That's all I knew. All I knew. So watching this pilot, I am interested in the story and the concept of it and the characters. Except Wyatt, I still gotta work with you, Wyatt. We still gotta work together a little bit. But Rufus and Lucy, they are interesting. I want to see more of them and how they react to, you know, other events and when they go to Abraham Lincoln and so forth after that. So it is an interesting show to watch, and I'm glad, like, these people, they don't have superpowers. It's not like Legends of Tomorrow. That Legends of Tomorrow's time travel, but they don't have superpowers in here. It's either a gun or your fist or you're dead. Now, I will say this. How did our 3 protagonists escape the Hindenburg? Because Kate ended up shooting and the explosion went on, and the Hindenburg literally burned within 25 seconds, 30 seconds, and, you know, it crashed down, but crashing and then breaking the window and then doing this and doing that. Like, I'm saying, when Kate and Wyatt were running, they should have been killed by that time. They should have already been dead. So I know it's a TV show and I know, you know, it's this and that, but I'm just saying, like, they're very lucky to have survived the crash and then the fire and the brimstone, and it's, you know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, like, one of them at least should have been dead. Now, when I say I don't like Flynn, I'm talking about the pilot here. The second episode premieres tomorrow. For all I know, I may like Flynn better in the second episode. I don't know. But from right now, from what I've seen out of an hour, Flynn just is a regular cliched guy, almost like Vandal Savage from Legends of Tomorrow. I just want to change the world and bend it to my will and, you know, stuff like that, and change this and change that. But he's following a journal, and Lucy supposedly wrote it. And yeah, that's interesting, but still, like, first off, again, his hair, such an asshole, dude, the way his hair's done, and, like, his look, and of course he has to be good looking. Why can't it just be a regular guy, like, mwah, like, haha, yeah, let's go back in time? Like, why does it have to be a good looking guy? I don't understand why they have to cast a good looking guy. Anyway, with that, like, just Flynn, I'm just like, it's just a cliched guy that is gonna ruin time and do this and do that, and it's just like, you know, whatever. Now, Timeless doesn't feel all that original. Like I said, it has Legends of Tomorrow vibe, except it doesn't have superheroes. I'm pretty sure that's Spanish. Whatever, this is a ripoff of the Spanish show. It has the vibes of that. I'm sure of that. But the whole thing is what I find interesting the most about the show and what draws me into it and what sucks me into it is Lucy and Rufus. I like them as characters. I like the story so far. I like that they went to the Hindenburg. I like the effects in here. I like the pacing of the story so far, the 1937 era. That's what drew me in the most. And the idea of them going to, like, they're basically following Flynn and wherever he goes to, because they could have killed Flynn. I don't know why didn't you just shoot Flynn? Or why didn't you kill Flynn when you had the chance? You could have done that. And, he shot Flynn, I think he shot Flynn in the shoulder. Just shoot him multiple times. Get it over with. I don't know what you're doing, but just shoot him. And end it. End us all the horror and just kill him. But, with all that said, is, like I said, the story and the characters and the effects and the tone and the pacing so far, that's what I really enjoy about this show. That's what really sucks me in. But as of right now, I don't care for Flynn or Wyatt or Connor Mason or that FBI girl that told Lucy she has to go. And then when she returned, she's like, what happened? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why I picked you. They just made me pick you. Whatever. That FBI girl. That stuff I don't care about. I don't, whatever, put it to the side. I just want to see them go to places and see historical events. That's, and them stopping Flynn, that's what I want to see. I could care less about the modern day story, them coming back, this and that, Connor Mason, I have a bigger plan for you, Rufus. I could care less for that stuff. I just want to see the historical stuff happen. Anyway, I'm going to be giving the series premiere for Timeless a B+. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack that like button. You can comment down below to me what you guys thought about the episode. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You can share this review with your friends and hit that subscribe button for more awesome Timeless reviews weekly. Thanks again. Join the Big D Nation. The road to 500 has begun. Till next time, bye-bye.